Hey, what's up? Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. If you're watching this, Ben couldn't join me today. Unfortunately, I think he's stuck at an airport right now trying to get back to Atlanta. So I'm here with you. And the topic of the show today is selling in a shifting market. That's not selling in a buyer's market because we're not in a buyer's market yet. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But the market is shifting. And so sellers need to be prepared to sell in that shifting market. Um, Oh, just kicked the camera. Once again, the point of this show every Thursday, State of the Market, is if you have a question about the market or what's going on and want to learn more about it, you can jump on and ask us a question live on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn. And I'm happy to answer any of those questions. When Ben is here with us, he's also happy to answer questions about mortgages, home loans, those kind of things. So, that's the point of it, just to allow anybody who's interested to hop on and ask us a question. So, um, first of all, number one tip for preparing to sell in this market is forget about the 2020 and 2021 market. Act like those markets never happened. We're back in 2019 again, and do the things that sellers were doing in 2019 that you would have done. Like, give yourself more time to prepare to sell. Um, so you want to do a formal walkthrough with your real estate agent. Let them walk through and look at every part of the house, because there may be some things in there that you didn't notice that they're going to notice, that also buyers will notice. And as you know, and many people know, you only get one shot with these buyers when they come through. They're going to come see your house one time. And if they don't like it, that's it. They're not coming back, because in this market, just like in 2019, um, they have more options now. So we're getting more listings. Inventory is growing slowly. So buyers know that, and they're not just going to jump on the first house they see. They're going to take their time looking at those houses. So you want to make sure that they like your house the first time they come through. So give yourself more time to prepare. Um, do that formal walkthrough with the real estate agent, and listen to what your agent has to say about some things that can be updated on your house. Like, if you need to do the painting, do the painting. If the paint needs to be refreshed in your house, if you have scuff marks all over the walls, update the paint. If your carpet needs to be replaced, uh, update the carpet or replace the carpet. If you have pets in the home and the house has, that pet smell, make sure that that smell is out of the house before you list, because that's one of the biggest things that's going to turn off buyers, is a funny smell when they come into the house. So make sure that um, is out of there. And then the other thing, God, I guess I have that camera in a bad spot. The last thing is, um, make sure that you know the competition in your neighborhood. So if there's nothing listed, if there's nothing for sale in your neighborhood, then that's great. Especially if you have a relatively large neighborhood. In some areas, like my neighborhood in particular, things come on the market and they're gone. There's not a whole lot that's listed in here right now. So if there's nothing listed in there, you can branch outside of your neighborhood and see what things are selling for. See what the finishes are that people are have in their house. See, like, how much preparation they've done to get listed. Um, but if there is something in your neighborhood, go off what's in your neighborhood and know your competition. Um, Once again, if anybody who comes on, please feel free to leave me a comment here or a question. I'm happy to answer any of those. This is my first time doing the show without Ben, once again, because he is stuck at an airport somewhere trying to get back to Atlanta. So you've just got me today, and we're talking about selling in a shifting market, which this market is shifting, and we talked about that. I'm going to share this screen with you, which is those. Oh, I quit sharing. Let's see. InfoSparks. This is what we showed you guys from June, the June numbers. And so this is how we know that the market is shifting. And I don't know why that looks like that. But here's one of the ways that we know, and we looked at this then, is the shows to pending. So what shows to pending tells us is that there are less buyers in the market right now looking at houses. If you look back in May or in March and February, we had 17 shows to pending showings until the home went under contract. Now we're at 11. Our days on market is still staying flat at about 6, which is good. Sale price stayed flat also, but our months of supply is ticking up. So we're at 1.8 months of inventory. I mentioned in that episode, with the new charts, I mentioned that its inventory would need to be at 6 to 7 months of inventory for us to be in a buyer's market. So we're still well into a seller's market right now at 1.8 months of inventory. Once again, because I know it took me a while when I first got into real estate to grasp the concept of inventory and months of supply. So once again, I'll give you the definition of months of supply is that's how many months it would take to sell every home on the market if no other homes were listed. So the fact that we're at 1.8 months of inventory is pretty, I mean, it's actually kind of scary. And for a long time, we were only at about a month of inventory. The reason why that's scary is literally every home would be gone if nothing else sold in a little over a month. That's every house that's out there. That's all like the shacks that are just about falling down. That's the multi-million-dollar mansions. Everything would be gone within a little over a month if nothing else listed. So let's look at, since we have some time, I'm going to remove that screen and I'm going to share a different one. So now on the MLS, on FMLS, I can show you what the market is looking like this week. And this, once again, is another sign of a seller's market, of a growing seller's market. And the reason is, or one of the biggest things that shows that is the new listings right here is well above pending. For almost a full 2 years, 2020 and 2021, every time I looked at this Market Watch indicator, there were more pending listings than there were new listings. So we were never able to really keep up. And that's why the inventory just kept going down. We were never able to keep up. Now, in this shifting market, we're seeing more new listings than we are pending listings. And in this new listings, we have 3,535 new listings and only 2,890 pending listings. So another inventory, another indicator of this shifting market is the fact that we have, all of these new listings. Another thing on this Market Watch is price decreases. If you look at this number here with price decreases, I'm going to add that back up there. Price decreases, that is a significant number. Once again, for all of 2020, just about all of 2020 and 2021, for just about all of those 2 years, we really didn't have a whole lot of price decreases. If you had a price decrease on your listing during that time, there was a big problem with your listing because just about everything that was listing was going up. There was no need for a price decrease, where now we're seeing over 3,000 price decreases in the metro Atlanta area in the last 7 days. And we have over 3,500 new listings, which is far more than the pending listings we have. So the market is shifting. It's shifting very slowly, and prices are staying steady because inventory is still so low that it's keeping demand high. But what is happening now is we're going back to that market that we were in 2019. Yep, another thing, we had 167 expired listings. And yeah, so guys, if you have any questions or are thinking about selling, if you're thinking about selling and you live in the Metro Atlanta area, as always, please give me a call. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Meeting with a real estate agent in person and having them walk through your house and take their time looking at your house and giving you their opinion. Obviously, make sure you have an experienced real estate agent. Giving you their opinion of what your house needs to get ready to go to market is huge in a market like this. That's exactly what you have to have right now in order to compete. There are some areas right now that are still in very high demand and certain price points. And so those areas, you're still going to have, a relatively easy time getting your home sold. Everyone else, though, you really need to be prepared. I mean, you need to be able to take your time, know the things that need to be done to your house to get it ready to list, take the advice of your real estate agent as far as any kind of refreshing needs to be done, any kind of decluttering that needs to be done. Do those things. Know your competition. Know the houses that are listed in your neighborhood and the houses that have recently sold. What was going on with those houses? How did they prepare their house to list? And what do you need to do? That's the best indicator of what you need to do in your neighborhood to get ready to sell. If you have any questions about that, please leave me a comment. If you're thinking about selling right now and you have a question, if you're thinking about buying right now, I mean, this episode is about selling, but if you're thinking about buying right now, also please leave me a comment. I'm happy to answer those questions live on the air. I've got about 5-10 minutes left here since I don't have Ben here with me today to kind of bounce things back and forth. I thought I'd make it a little bit shorter show today, but since, I'll take a little sidebar and talk about buyers as well. Everyone that, all of us that are, in the industry and even, financial experts that are talking about real estate right now, almost all of them agree that prices are not going to go down on homes. So we're not expecting to see that rapid crash that happened in 2008. That actually the recession was caused by what was going on in the housing market and in the lending industry at that time. So we're not expecting to see that. What we're expecting to see is a sort of a leveling off. Home prices will continue to increase, but at a slower rate over the next 5 years. So where we've seen 15 to 20% appreciation on homes over the last 2 years, we're going to get back to that 3 to 6% appreciation per year over the next 5 years. That's what all the experts that I listen to are saying. So if you're thinking about buying, now is still a good time to buy. We're not waiting on, nobody ever knows when a crash is going to happen. That's why it's a crash. That's why, most people, except for like those really, the people who, like in the, the Big Short guy, most people don't know when it's going to happen. That's why it catches everybody off guard. So what we're doing is making the best forecast of what we expect to happen based on the information we have around us, which is mainly in this market, the fact that inventory is still really low and the market has remained stable, or the housing market has remained stable. So if you're still thinking about buying, now is still a great time to buy and get in and start building equity. Everyone that I talk to who doesn't own a house, especially, if you're out of college, you have a stable job, and you're paying rent here in Atlanta, rent rates continue to go up every year. If you purchase a home and get locked into a 30-year mortgage, your mortgage never changes. As rent rates go up and things go up with inflation, your mortgage never goes up. So that is the number one positive of it. The bonus is that over that time, you're building equity. So when you get ready to sell 5, 10, 15 years, I mean, if you decide to hold on to it and rent it out, that's even better. But 5, 10, 15 years from now, you get ready to sell and you have money that you can use toward the next house. So you can move up. You can even, in some cases, take out that equity that you have in that home, use that home as a rental, and use the equity for a down payment on the next one. So it's never a bad time to start building equity. So that's a little sidebar on buying. It's never a bad time to get into the housing market and start building equity. So that is basically, normally this is a 30-minute show. I go, Ben and I kind of go bounce things off each other. He gives us an update on mortgages and stuff. But since he's not here today, since he's not here today and he's trying to get back to Atlanta, that's basically going to be it for me. Selling in a shifting market, number one thing is forget about 2020 and 2021. We're back in 2019. You need to be prepared. You need to prepare ahead of time and make sure that you're making the best first impression that you can with buyers that come through. Refreshing paint, refreshing carpet, landscaping, giving it that curb appeal, making sure there's no funny smells in the house. Be prepared before you list. Know your competition, position yourself properly on the market. You got to do all those things if you want to compete in this shifting market. So that's it, guys. If you have any question for me, please send me an email. I'm happy to answer any questions. You can also comment on this video after it's posted. And please share these videos with your friends. They're all posted on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. But that's it for me. I will talk to everyone next week. We'll be back in the same place Thursday at 4 p.m. State of the Market. So thanks you guys for watching. Have a good one.